What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel for my first Series 12 laddering video. Now, the first video I showed off in this format was with a pretty standard team, like bog standard Rain. But now that I've had some time to practice the format like a lot more on Cart and on Showdown, I think I'm able to start the season off strong with a really cool team featuring one of my favorite restricteds that just haven't been able to run before this, which is Rayquaza. Now, while other restricteds are indeed stronger, in a vacuum, of course, this is why Rayquaza didn't do very well in single restricted formats, getting to bring a second restricted really opens it up and just allows it to shine in a lot of situations. The big green dragon, he gets his spot in this metagame. And after getting to top 300 on the Showdown ladder with it, I'd like to prove that on Cart it can do the same thing right here. So first, let's go over the team real quick. There's actually nothing particularly fancy about the sets on this squad. Ray is running a max Timid Life Orb set with Dual Stabs, Earth Power, and Protect. So having base 150 in both attack stats is definitely a waste of your BST, but it does mean that a lot of players will waste time trying to intimidate you or just lower your physical attack sometimes. You get access to Stab, Airstream, and Wormwind that can cut your opponent's attack. So off of that massive stat with Life Orb, you're picking up Okos very quickly if you actually manage to get them off in the first place. And of course, its ability Airlock can absolutely ruin weather teams' days, allowing it to run over opposing Venusaurs and Seismitoads, although Kyogre is still a problem with Hailstorm. So as for the rest of the team, Zacian's running a fairly standard bulky Adamant spread that lives a +1 Life Orb Astral Barrage, but my speed investment has been creeping up slowly over the course of the format to beat out other Adamant Zacians. You know what Zacian does already, basically. It's just busted. It's pretty neat that Just Our Restricted form a Fantasy Core, though, with the Dragon Fairy Steel there. And we get the added bonus of letting Ray switch into Quakes that are intended for Zacian too, so the flying type helps there as well. So next we have Blastoise, which is a great alternate max target. It covers Rayquaza's awful 4x Ice weakness, and it also has the option to stay small with support options Yawn, Icy Wind, and Helping Hand for support. And you know what, it's pretty bulky, so it can pull that off. We're running Wakan to deal with Regieleki and Zapdos, which are very common fixtures in this meta, and a bit of speed to make sure that fast Incineroars don't actually manage to creep us. It can happen if you go min. And then the vast majority of the investment, though, is in HP and special attack with a modest nature, and that's because when you have no boosting item, i.e. Wakan, you really need all the investment you can get, or you're going to do no damage. With Blastoise, it's very mediocre special attack. So next is Prankster Thundurus. It is actually a key part of the team, sometimes like the absolute MVP. It's our main support choice, and it shares a similar strength to Rayquaza in that people don't always know what it's going to be on team preview or even on turn 1 if they don't leave with Intimidate. Defiant Thundurus is even more common than Prankster, but they both do very different things and they require very different counterplay. So that's very nice. It grants us speed control, it grants us special damage control, taunt, and decent stab electric damage, which can definitely make the difference between winning or not. I'd say it literally comes to 90% of my games. Pretty much the only time I could see myself not wanting it is like an abundance of ground types, or even then the Prankster is really nice. I guess into Giga Squeezing would be bad. Then to round it out, Incin is Incin. This is just my personal favorite speedy goggles taunt set, but you can swap it out for whatever Incin set floats your boat. That isn't necessarily important. I just like having faster fake outs. And then finally you have AV Ferrothorn, and that rounds out our Fire Water Grass core and gives us a third backup max target. You don't really want to max it, but you absolutely can. This thing is really underrated. It gives us a solid answer into both Kyogre and Calyrex Shadow, as well as opposing Trick Room teams. Like Ray and Thundy, a lot of people misidentify it as the Leech Seed Iron Defense set, so they'll waste a taunt on it when we're AV and don't have any status moves, so that is really nice when it happens, and then we just smack them. Finally, the last little bit of secret sauce here is that we're running an Adamant nature and a tiny bit of speed investment rather than Brave and Min Speed, and that's in order to creep other Ferrothorns that often do go with that Min Speed set, while still staying slow enough to do well in Trick Room, and that decision has won me several endgames now where it just comes down to who gets the body press first. Anyway, I have talked a lot about this team. Let's jump into some games and see what it can do. Okay, we gotta find an opponent. Rank 144. Jeez, alright, that is pretty scary to be bringing Ray against. Let's take a look at this team. It's pretty standard Tornogre, but the Volcarona is kind of spicy. I like that. Honestly, Blastoise and Rayquaza would do fairly well here, so I'm just going to go with Ray Thundy. It's the Ray video after all. Blastoise would be really nice here. But I really think we can get away with either, to be honest. Like, we've got coverage for attack drops for Landorus, Airstream for Volk, Quake for Zacian. Let's just go for it and put Zacian in the back. And then for the fourth one, I think we need Ferrothorn because we just don't have any like true Kyogre checks here. Like Eerie Impulse is going to be great, but we need to actually be able to put it down. Instant definitely would have worked here too for the Fake Out and the Intimidation, but I think I like this. I think Ray can pull this off. Right, yeah, I guess been playing a lot of JP ladder players on ladder recently. I think this time of day must be good for them. Anyway, let's see what my opponent's leading with here. Okay, Yveltal to Landorus. Alright, well, we've got two special attackers here, so I don't care about the Intimidate. I don't know what they're going to max here. It's kind of interesting. Man, Rayquaza has the best shiny in this game, I think, honestly. It looks so good. Back to the game, though. I think we Eerie Impulse the Yveltal. That seems like a no-brainer. But for the Landorus, like, I really just don't know who they're going to max. They probably know I have Quake, but I think I like the idea of Eerie Impulse on Yveltal and then Wormwind onto Landorus to lower its attack. We should be faster than it. That won't matter if they go for Web, though. Just going to have to give that a shot. If we had brought Ensign, that would have been really nice. We could have Eerie Impulse and swapped Ray out for Ensign, just, you know, mess with their damage output right from the beginning, but this should be fine. Okay, so my max goes off first, which means they're definitely not maxing the Yveltal, which really hope they keep that Landorus small. If they don't, then we're in a bit of trouble here. Pretty cool looking dragon, though. He's kind of like looking to the side, though, like I don't know if that's the max animation or always, but I don't know. Just not something I get to see on cart very often. And they are maxing. Okay, so that means it has to be Landorus. Yeah, I think we'll take a hit from it though, and then we'll lower it as its attack. And we attacked into it. It really depends what item it has. If they have AV, I'm not sure we get the 2-hit KO. We got our Eerie Impulse off, so that's not really going to matter a whole ton if they go for Web. But I guess any damage matters when we lose speed control, and we are going to now. Okay, yeah, Web and it double connects, which is unfortunate, but, you know, 95% chance. Not that crazy. And Airstream comes out into our Ray. I'm would resist it. That's a lot of damage, honestly. Kind of way more than I expected. Yeah, Life Orb. Okay, that makes sense. This should be a big attack back, though. Let's see how much... Yeah, that base 150 really coming in clutch. And our own Life Orb, of course. And this will lower their attack. The problem is, even at -1, I think we might still be within range of an attack, especially after that Life Orb chip. Yeah, we're at like 25%, basically. So we need speed control. I'm going to go ahead and Scary Face the Landorus and Max Guard the Rayquaza. Reason being that if they Web again, even Scary Face won't be enough, because they Airstream last turns. They have +1. We drop them down to -1, and they go back to neutral, and we'd be at -2, I think. Yeah, so we need 2 Scary Faces basically to catch up. And they went for Eerie Impulse into Ray. All right, that means we could have just attacked, but Rockfall now and into Thundy. Crap. I was really hoping the bulk would do it there, but yeah, it makes sense. Life Orb Landorus is even at -1 going to do a ton. It's super effective. So, all right, we're in a bit of a rough spot here. I think what I'm going to do here is bring out Zacian, and then I'm going to bait an attack into it, and by swapping into Ferrothorn. Like, they're going to want to Quake that thing really badly. Yeah. And then I really want to go for Wormwind with Ray to get another attack drop. Like, we can kill Yveltal with it. But then the problem becomes that they might swap into their Zacian. So Quake is the safe move here. Let's see what they go for with their Lando now. Max Guard. Okay, I mean, I'll take that pretty much every time. Means we take no damage on Pharaoh instead of a Quake, which would probably still do a little bit, even at -1. Alright, so this will at least take their Yveltal down to Sash. I don't know if it is Sashed, and it's not. so I guess Magnet probably. So it very well could have maxed. Yeah, we're in a much better spot now. I really wish I had Worm Wind. That would have been great to have Lando down to -2. But it is what it is. Let's see what my opponent brings in now. Okay, yeah, so Zacian, we are not out of the woods yet here. Alright, so in this scenario, I want to say that Ray definitely goes under a Rock Slide. We're very low on health, but Pharaoh should take a Sacred Sword, if I know my calcs. So with that in mind, I think double attack is just the play. Like, Rock Slide could miss on either target. I really hope that this is on Ray. That would be great. But yeah, we just double attack into the Zacian, get it out of the way. Sacred Sword should do. Whoa, that's a lot. Oh, you know why? I'm used to the calc on the max defense Leech Seed one. And they go for Rock Slide, but it misses Ferrothorn. Okay, so that's a good bit of fortune. I would have way rather have it on Ray, don't get me wrong, but yeah, that's amazing. We would have lost, I think, right there if they'd gotten the double KO, but Gyro Ball goes in, that's a 2-hit KO right there, and then we get to bring in our own Zacian. We're in a rough spot still, but I think it's doable. I think they go for Beyblade into my Zacian or Protect. Either way, they're going to want to get damage into it. So we can attack it with Ferrothorn and then take out the Lando slot. And Beyblade would do the most damage, but I'm going for Sacred Sword here because it's kind of the the midway play between it and Play Rough. They definitely have Kyogre in the back. There's no reason they wouldn't bring it. So, okay, no switch, but it's fine. We still get the KO here. That's good. And we'll see what their Zacian targets. It's probably ours, yeah, and Beyblade makes sense. Alright. We should take this, though. Wow, barely, though. Jeez, that is a strong Zacian, considering we have a good amount of bulk on ours. Gyro Ball takes it out. Now, the issue here is that we are about to go up against Kyogre. Almost certainly. I don't know why they wouldn't bring it as their last. And, you know, spread damage. So if it's Scarf, we just flat out lose. They could even go for Spout even if they're not Scarf, though, because they only do the tiniest bit of damage here. I think what we got to do is go for the Play Rough roll. If I recall, it's like 50% chance to Oko a non-invested Kyogre. You might as well just go for it. I mean, and if they chicken out and go for Origin Pulse for whatever reason, then there's also missed chance there. So yeah, this is playing to our outs here. And we go first. Play Rough. Yeah. All right. Oh, it was a crit. Okay. Well, lucky, but you know, I'll absolutely take it. Jeez. We got a rank 144 win with Ray. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, rank 299, another JP player. Okay, let's see if this team can pull it off again. Let's see here. Pretty standard Ray Yveltal team. The Toad without a Rain Setter is kind of interesting. It could be Water Absorb, or maybe just Swift Swim to counter Kyogres. Anyway, that's not us this time. I kind of like Blastoise for this. I was talking about Blastoise over Ray last game. It probably would have been better, to be honest. Let's go ahead and show off that mode, because honestly, they don't have anything that really checks Blastoise unless it's Water Absorb Toad. And even then, they'd just be a wall. So they don't really have anything that checks us besides Rotom and Aleki. Rotom's weak to us, first of all, and second of all, we have Eerie Impulse on Thundurus, so that's great. Zacian obviously comes in the back. And then for the last slot, so the thing about this team is you do leave Ray at home a good bit. Not most of the time, but like there's a good amount of matchups where it's simply not going to help, and I'm not really seeing what it contributes here. Like, it doesn't have great damage into a Yveltal. It'll die to Zacian unless it gets speed control, and it's not going to when we're maxing Blastoise, unless we get a scary face off. So, I'm kind of feeling Incin here. Like, AV Ferrothorn could be okay. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure Incin's the play. We get Intimidate, we get Fake Out. You can't really count on Blastoise to pick up the KO on Zacian, especially if we get into late game, if they preserve it for the late game. So Yeah, I think Instin's the play here. So we're leaving Ray at home. Unfortunate part of using a lower tiered restricted is there are just matchups where it doesn't do well. And it's just a good lesson to learn for the format as well, honestly. Okay, so they bring out Rotom and Grimmsnarl. This is a pretty great lead for us, I think. So I'm a little scared of them like baiting me to attack into a water absorbed Toad. So what I'm gonna do here is just max the Blastoise and Cannonade, and I want to put it into the Grimmsnarl because there's no way they switch that into the Toad. And then we can just Eerie Impulse the Rotom. They can go for Nasty Plot, in which case we'll cancel it out. If they max, that's the best possible scenario for us. Yeah, we'll see. The worst case is that they go for like Trick Eject Button nonsense, which, you know, Rotom's probably faster than us, almost certainly faster than us, so I could see it happening, but... Alright, they are maxing. Wow, okay. Yeah, obviously the Rotom. This is incredible. Okay, so we are going to get an amazing start here. Don't forget that we also have Wakan on this Blastoise, which means that, yeah, we're going to take 1/4 the normal damage. I mean, it's super effective, so basically half of the normal, of like a neutral hit to Blastoise. So Blastoise is very tanky anyway, so this should do nothing to us. I'm assuming it's Max Lightning. I don't see what else they go for. Eerie Impulse, nice. I don't know why you do that in the face of, like, the Thundy Blastoise is almost always Prankster as a lead, I want to say. Anyway, Light Screen, great. Like, that lead is way more ambiguous when you do it next to Ray, because people think it might be physical and defiant, but alright, let's see how much this does. Tickles, that tickled the turtle, that is hilarious. Okay, so, it could not be better. Like, this Light Screen is gonna kind of cut the damage from Cannonade, but the important thing is that we get Cannonade up at all, and, you know, we did turn 1. Sometimes it's nice to delay it, but both of their Mons are going to be on the field at the end of this turn. We don't get any KOs, so it's actually pretty solid still. We'll still get the chip on both of them. It's a little annoying to waste it on a max target because they effectively take half damage, but still. I want to say that Grimmsnarl is now in range of a T-Bolt in another round of Cannonade. Maybe just the T-Bolt. Light Screen will probably do that, though. So let's Cannonade the Rotom. We still want to chip it, because like, if its max ends, they'll just withdraw it. They could even withdraw it during the max, to be honest, if it's not doing enough for them. So yeah, I think I like this. Let's get this Grimmsnarl off the field and put some chip into Rotom. If we can get it down to like 50%, then that'll easily be within range of a Zacian Sacred Sword for later in the game. And Scary Face. Okay, I mean, Blastoise is already slow. Thunderous? Okay, I mean, sure, why not? I don't really care if my Prankster Mon is slow, to be honest. We tank that easily. Of course, it's at -2, but they do set the Sun, and that's actually very smart. It means that our Cannonade into the Rotom through Sun and Light Screen, even though it's super effective, we're not going to do that much damage. Blastoise doesn't really pack much of a punch, to be honest. And yeah, less than 50%, but this T-Bolt should hopefully pick up the KO. It should put them within residual range. Yeah, awesome. So I think, yeah, with one more turn of residual, if not 2 more, depending on when they withdraw their Rotom, it should easily be within Sacred Sword range. So this was an amazing first couple turns. And we still have one more turn of max, so we can definitely reset the weather here too. Get some Hail Chip going to go alongside the Cannonade damage. We do waste a... No, we didn't waste a turn of Cannonade, sorry. Grimmsnarl went down only because of it, so that's great. So now we'll see what my opponent brings out next. I assume one of their 2 restricteds. There's no reason not to bring... Yveltal and Zacian are both good enough that you pretty much bring them to like most matchups, in my experience. And yeah, here's Yveltal. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we're going to do much damage through Hailstorm, but... sorry, through Light Screen, and into it's probably an AV. So let's just cripple the Rotom further and set up Hail. Like, the chip from Hail and Cannonade is definitely going to be more than we do with Blastoise directly. Alright, Eerie Impulse, good. So now that Rotom's at -4, doing nothing. That's great. And Snarl. Okay, double connects. Ooh, that's a lot of damage on Thundy. It's good, it's a crit. Okay. Yeah, so now we're at -1 and light screen, and it's probably AV Yveltal. That's like the normal set, I think. So, doubt we're going to do much with this Hailstorm here, but let's see. I guess I go first, obviously. Yeah, once again, that tickled. That looked like a higher roll, but yeah, it should have been about the same damage as it was the first time. And Hailstorm... Oh my god. Yeah, that's definitely AV. Jeez, okay, that's fine, that's fine. Blastoise did its job. It doesn't need to do a ton of damage. But no sun boosted attacks for Rotom here. It has to switch out, I think. And now we get that nice Hail Chip plus Cannonade. See, like we definitely did more with the residual than we did with the actual attack. That's hilarious. But Rotom's at that 50% mark, so easy Sacred Sword pickup for Zacian later in the game. But now we have a Yveltal to deal with, and we can't target with Prankster, which is really annoying. I would love to Eerie Impulse this thing. So instead, I think I'll just take a chance. Yeah, let's yawn it, and then I'm going to make a read. I think they swap the Rotom. It's absolutely useless to them. It's got to be Zacian in the back. So if we Scary Face that slot, we can gain speed control over their Zacian. And that'll be really nice if we can set that up. I'm guessing they take a KO this turn, so we'll get our Zacian in for free with speed control over theirs. And they never got Reflect up, which is really huge. And they do switch. Okay. Yeah, and into Zacian. Amazing. Okay, cool. So we're going to have that now. Very nice. Very nice. We could have gone for T-Ball, but honestly, I don't think... yeah, they go for Snarl, so like we were going to die to this anyway. And, yep, okay, Funding goes down. Blastoise is at -2 now. It's doing no damage, so Yawn Bot is pretty much all it's good for here. But that's pretty nice. It should force it out. The Electric Terrain, of course, doesn't affect Flying type Yveltal, so that's great. A little more chip. And I think this should be the last turn of Residual. You usually get one more after max. Yeah, wow. Yeah, Yveltal's down. Okay, so I think we definitely bring in Zacian here. So the thing is, at this point, we have speed control over everything with Zacian. We can score KOs on, I think, pretty much everything. Maybe not theirs. But they could swap either slot, and Rotom doesn't benefit from the terrain. So what I can do is yawn the Zacian slot, even though it doesn't make any sense, and then Sacred Sword the Yveltal slot to guarantee a KO in that slot, whether they choose to switch or not. Yeah. You know, I had Instant in the back. That was really dumb. I could have just swapped it in, like, that would have covered Zacian staying in and give us Fake Out if it doesn't, so... Oh, I really wish this was like Showdown, where I didn't have to lock in my move like that. That was a really dumb idea. Because there's Electric Terrain, of course, for another turn, so if they don't swap the Zacian slot... And, yeah, they swapped to Yveltal. Okay, I might have just thrown this whole game, to be honest. It depends how much they do into my Zacian. But I would have really liked to have that Intimidate. We get the Rotom KO at least, so that's nice. But yeah, kind of called it. V-Blade into my Zacian now. And yeah, pointless. Okay. Alright, I think that puts us into Sucker Punch range too, which is really not good. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that really is AV Yveltal with Sucker Punch, as opposed to, like, there are some Life Orb variants popping up these days, but... Okay. This is fine. I think we still win this. So what we need to do... I don't want to risk them doubling the Blastoise slot. Or rather, I don't want to risk them going for Sacred Sword and critting my Instant, so I'm going to try to sack it here, protect Zacian, and go for another Yawn. I think the Electric Terrain being gone means Blastoise does put on pressure, so they'll want it gone. And if Sucker Punch... Yeah, it would be dumb to double the Blastoise slot, or to double the Zacian slot, rather, so we definitely get this free switch in. And yeah, this goes off. Okay, so now we bring in Instant. If they are AV, they can't protect. So we can Fake Out and kill Yveltal. We should live this Hail. Okay. We might be in range of another Hail, though. So if we Fake Out and kill Yveltal, then we can have the 2v1 against Zacian the following turn. I think, or whoever they target, if they take them down, then like we can, like Incin or our Zacian should win the 1v1. But the problem is this is Hail. I need to check how many turns there are. If there's only one, we're good, and there is only one. Great. So something that you should know about weather with residual damage like Hail is that the last turn doesn't actually deal any damage at the end. Like the effect of the weather is still active, so like blizzards will still be 100% accurate, but you won't take the chip damage, which is huge. I believe we took 11 or so, so that would definitely kill Zacian if it wasn't that late. So that's a nice little bit of good fortune there. And they did flinch after that, which means they were going for Sucker again. B-Blade will absolutely take out Yveltal from this range. And now it depends who they target. If they're smart, they'll take out my Zacian because because they may be able to win the 1v1 against Incin. But no, they go for Incin, and Sacred Sword is not going to pick that up. So yeah, we absolutely win now. It's just a matter of doubling in. We have speed control with Zacian, and Incin will just take it out if they yeah, I don't really know what I'm saying here. Just our Zacian alone will win this end game. Why protect? Like that just feels like the end at some point. Like you know the game's over at this point. That's fine. All we have to do is click the same moves one more time. Perfect. All right, that should close out the game. This may not kill, we'll see. But Flare Blitz afterwards definitely will. Nah, it does it. Great. Awesome. Well, despite that, good game to my opponent. And yeah, I think there's time for at least one more game. So we'll move on to that next. Okay, another player at rank 414. Okay, well, let's round this out right, I guess. I know they've got... This is a very interesting team. Okay, wow, Zygarde, Zamazenta, and then Comfey, so probably a weakness policy on that. And then the Galarian Zapdos. That's so cool if they got this team this high up. Okay, so they do have double fairy, but I still really like Ray here, just because we can hit Zygarde super effectively with Wormwind and lower its attack at the same time. So I think that the best lead here would probably just be Ray and Thundy, like normal. Trying to think, like, Zacian wouldn't be a terrible lead either into most of this. Like, if they lead with either of their fairies, then that could be good too. Like, if they choose to go like Comfey Zygarde right off the bat, right? Like, we could just annihilate the Comfey. We can put huge pressure on the Clef. Basically means they can't follow me. They're forced to protect there. But that also means they might not bring it, and then we might be stuck with Zacian out. So let's just go with the original plan. And Incin is a no-brainer here. We keep it in the back because we don't want to potentially proc Galarian Zapdos, but like everything on their team that isn't named Charizard here is vulnerable to it. So besides Zapdos, of course. So yeah, both their restricteds will be completely wrecked by Intimidate. I think that's a huge tool. Alright, and they're leading Zygarde, and okay, double restricted. Guess it would have been nice to have Incin out to begin with. The thing is, I don't really want to swap it in because they're probably just going to coil on that slot. Yeah, so I would really just love to Wormwind that Zygarde. That would be incredible to get 2 attack drops, but they do have 2 fairies in the back is the thing. Clef and Comfey, so that switch would be good, but it's also risky for them, right? Because if I just airstream that slot, then they take huge damage on that, on their support. So, you know, screw it, let's just go for it. And then we can taunt the Zama because they tend to go for like Howl or Coaching. But if they went for Howl, then they'd still get their own attack boost, which would be rough. Like that thing is basically bad Zacian, so it can do some damage if it gets a boost in. Okay, yep, I deserve that, I guess. And this max animation is so long just to know that you got outplayed at the end of it. Alright, okay, we get the taunt off at least, so no howl from them. They went for coaching, which, oh, okay, yeah, that really was a dead turn because we're special, we don't care if they have a defense boost. I'm gonna try not to tilt here. Zama doesn't threaten an Oko on Ray like Zacian does, so I think we can take the turn to get an Airstream boost on it, and then we can go for a taunt on Clef. They did just see that we had taunts, they might protect, but that's fine. I'm sorry, what? Who puts ally switch on Clefairy? Alright, fine. So we'll see how much Bash does here at least. It won't Oko like Zacian might, but it's still probably a 2-hit KO. Well, actually it even misses that. Jeez. Zama is not strong. That was a bad restricted, so I guess we'll take that. Alright, so at least it's a 2-hit KO on Clef. That's not terrible. So Thundy isn't really doing anything for us here. I kind of like the idea of trying to finally get some damage into Zama with an Airstream and then swapping into Incin for the Intimidate, so that it, like, that might have been a low roll, so we can absolutely guarantee that it doesn't take down Ray with the next attack, barring a crit. The real problem is that we've wasted our entire max here. Alright, no switches, but that means that Zama is at -1 now. It should probably only do like 25-30%. And they protect Clef. Okay, great, so we called this turn well. Not a ton. I guess it is bulky, but... Alright, let's see how much this the second Bash does. It should leave us... I mean, we took Life Orb chip, right? So I think this Intimidate was definitely necessary to guarantee that we live. Yeah, we definitely would have died without it, so that was the call for sure. They're no longer taunted. They often don't run Protect, though, honestly. So, going into this next turn, I think the Fake Out play is really obvious, but we do put the pressure on. So I like Earth Powering into that slot and Parting Shotting instead. They could, if they swap for something else, then we get Incin out and, you know, recycle the Fake Out pressure, recycle the Intimidate. But they swap out Clef instead. Okay. Yeah, well, predicting our Fake Out, obviously. Okay, cool. So this is actually amazing, unless they protect. And they don't. Great. So this Earth Power should kill Zama, I would think. Yeah, nice. And now we get a Parting Shot off into Zygarde, put it at -1, and we'll have the ability to Intimidate it again if we so choose. But I'm not sure we want to. They might bring a Fairy out next, and we could just kill it with Zacian. So let's, I think I'm definitely bringing out Zacian next. Cool. Okay. So now we just need to see what my opponent brings out. Clefairy again, awesome. Okay, yeah, this is great. Thing is, I'm scared of Ally Switch. Ally Switch or Follow Me, really. I could swap into Incin and get that Intimidate. That might be the play, but they could just Coil. You know, I kind of feel like making a big read. Like, we put such pressure onto that Clef, right? What if we just double in here? The absolute, like, unfortunately, Ray is faster. It would be really nice if, because of those Airstream boosts, it'd be really nice if it was slower. But, the worst case is that they follow me, and they protect. Awesome. Okay, yeah. So the worst case is that they follow me or Ally Switch, and we waste the Draco, but keep our attack, our special attack up. And then Zacian kills the Clef, and they'd be neutral, I guess. But yeah, wow, Draco brings them almost Oko's something as bulky as Zygarde with Friend Guard up. That's absolutely nuts. And they were weakness policy, which you have to expect with Comfey. Alright, Ray absolutely did its job after a terrible start. It definitely made up for it by basically KOing both their restricteds. We'll take that. Zacian can finish it off, and then so it basically comes down to whatever they have in the back. And at this point, I've completely forgotten the rest of their team, and I don't get to check anymore. So I guess Incin is the safe bet with Fake Out. They're gonna max whatever they have left. Next to Clef, it's not over yet. Oh, they had Galarian Zapdos, didn't they? That would be terrible. Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind. I think we just win at this point, actually. You can't max a Comfey, and even if you do, Beyblade will just kill it. So yeah, this is over. I guess they really put all their eggs in that Zygarde basket. That's kind of crazy. Fake Out and Beyblade, I don't think it really matters at this point. They just protect it, so Clef is the right move. But yeah, battle is canceled. Good game to my opponent. This was really fun with Rayquaza. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Since we're back on Sword and Shield, I am once again giving out rental codes and pastes, which you can find in the description and here and the beginning of the video. Series 12 is a bit more centralized than I thought it would be initially, to be honest with you, but I do have some cool ideas to show off for future videos, so stay tuned. Until next time.